the festival before, I was having a wank and I felt like a lumpy, fleshy thing on my cock that wasn't a wart or a cyst or anything I'd had previously. And I went to the doctor and the doctor looked at it and sort of went... Another doctor and the two of them looked at it and just... I don't fucking have any idea what that is. So they sent me off to a specialist. The specialist puts my genitals into like a clamping machine. And it turns out that I have a tumour growing on the side of my penis. Now, I go to the doctor. Do many people die from this? And he's like, nah, most people detect it pretty quick. They don't leave it to chance. And now, as I said, no one dies from this. It's very rare. And I'm not famous, but I'm on telly a bit. I might be the most famous person ever to have this condition, which means I'll have to become a spokesperson. And I'll be doing adverts going, hi, I'm Jim Jefferies. I'm a comedian. But you know what's not a laughing matter? Dick cancer. Do you know that 2 people die from dick cancer a year? This must be stopped. There are many ways to detect dick cancer. Wanking. That's it, really. Please buy a ribbon. Now, while I was out at the Edinburgh Festival, I was with a girl for 3 years. I never cheated on her, but I did cheat on her twice during the Edinburgh Festival because it's a festival. And when I went to the doctor, I was worried that it was a sexually transmitted disease. I think I'm the first person ever to high-five a doctor when he says he got cancer. I was fucking well up for that. I was like, cancer, fucking yeah! Because you come home with herpes, she'll kick you out of the fucking house, right? You come home with dick cancer, she'll make you a cake or something real nice. And God bless her, I loved her to bits, but we're broken up now. I can say this, she wasn't bright, she was a thick girl. She would not have sex with me until the tumour was removed because she was worried it was contagious. I'm like, it's not contagious, it's fucking cancer, all right? Let's just enjoy the width while we have it. You girls know I'm right. You haven't had sex till you've had tumour sex. I said, it's not contagious. It's not like we got it from a tit wank from Kylie Minogue. Yes, look, I understand that joke is wrong on many levels. The main level being that Kylie's tits aren't big enough for a tit wank. Even with the lump, they couldn't have gotten that much bigger. Don't be upset with me. I'm a cancer patient. So anyway, I go into the surgery to get it taken out. They lay me down on the table. They put like a metal frame up with a curtain. And the doctor puts a needle into my dick. And there's a nurse, and her sole job is to take all the blood away from the sliced up cock. And there's another nurse, and her sole job is to hold my hand whilst my cock is being sliced up and to distract me from the mutilation. And she's holding my hand and she looks at me and she goes, "So, I hear you're a comedian." And I went, "Yeah, I'm a comedian. Why don't you tell us all a joke?" Why don't you fuck off? And then they put like 6 stitches into my cock. Like these aren't like the big ones they use like on your head or your arm. These are like tiny, fine, small ones that they use like on babies' arms. And the doctor tells me not to get an erection for 3 weeks. I was fucking moody. I wasn't a good kind of be around, man. The end of the 3 weeks, I was ready for my comeback wank. I hadn't even touched my cock. I tried not to think about my cock. My balls had never been so full in my entire life. In fact, the stitches dissolved, and I told my girlfriend they were still not dissolved so I could have a wank before I fucked her. I put some porn on, and I got some lube, right? Now, ordinarily, I'm not that fancy. I'm more of a dry hand sort of guy. Well, I thought, it's been a while, Jim. Treat yourself. So I lubed up my cock, and I'm talking 5 pumps maximum. Just... And out of my cock came this thick gelatin-like cum. It was like it was trying to make a baby without the womb. And I looked at it, and I swear to God, it fucking looked back at me. So I shook its hand. Anyway, that's all I have to say about Dick Cantor. I think I went last July or something like that. She was 92, she was meant to fucking die, you know. I would have been more surprised if she did a motocross rally or something like that. Towards the end, she had like 4 strokes and she had dementia. She was just like a head in a chair, really. And she had dementia, or as I like to call it, honesty. Just old people telling the truth, thinking, I've walked this planet for 92 years, I'm sick of lying to cunts. She's taken my money, that's not my son. And she was meant to die like 2 years ago. She kept on getting strokes. Kept on getting rang up by my mum going, she's got like 2 days to live, right? So she goes, you better ring your grandmother, she's going to die any minute, right? So I ring her up and say, hey grandma, how are you? And she goes, not too good. And I went, yeah, I heard that. I hear you're not doing well. Look, Grandma, I'm going to miss you. I love you. I'm sorry you're dying. And she went, oh, I love you too, Jim. And then I cried and I thought, well, that's that. And I put the phone down and I went back to the PlayStation, right? And then like 2 years on, she wasn't dead. What do? Do you call back? What's the protocol? You go, good for you, didn't think you fucking had it in you, right? Every time she was going to die as well, because my father lives in fucking Sydney and my grandmother lives in Queensland, and he would go up to bury his mum, but because of her not dying, he'd go up there, and every time he had to take time off work and all that, and every time he'd come back down, I'd ring him up and go, did Grandma die? And he'd go, nah, and I go, well, better luck next time. She's got like 12 grandkids, and we all got the same inheritance. We all got $100. That's Australian. $100 Australian. That's fucking 38 quid, right? That's not even enough for 2 lap dances, that, right? How is her spirit meant to live on? And those people can fucking hang on forever and ever because they're worried about the afterlife. She wasn't going to fucking die. That's the same reason the old Pope, not the Nazi we got now, the one before that, right? He wouldn't... Remember the one that was curved like a banana, right? He wouldn't die because he was religious and evil. Every time there was like a pedophile in the Catholic Church, he would just move them to a different church so that God's not watching, we're okay. We'll just now. And the reason for that is there's a lot of spastics out there. Do I know who finds that word offensive? Not the spastics, the people who know spastics, the people who are friends with spastics. If you're such a good fucking friend, why don't you bring them out tonight, you fucking cunts? Furthermore, a few years ago, I did 3 gigs for Scope. They rang me up and said, Jim, we'd like you to do our benefits. And I said, are you sure you want me? And they said, you're the only comedian who's ever made jokes about us whilst we're in the room. So anyone who's offended, you can go get fucked. I'm spaz approved. In fact, in their review, they gave me 4 oohs, which... Now, as I said before, if you're friends with these people, why don't you bring them out? You always get some bleeding heart come up to you after a gig going, do you know my best friend is a spastic? Not a spastic, but they... And then you're like, well, where the fuck are they, you bitch? Fucking... I used to work as a disabled carer before I was a comedian. And it was a good job. You felt good about yourself at the end of the day. And I saw some heartwarming things there, man. I saw some fucking miserable things, but I saw some things that made me feel good, man. I got fired for racing them. It sounds a lot worse than it is, right? You say racing retards, that's offensive, right? Call it Paralympics, goodwill. And so... Anyway, I'm going to tell you a good story that came from there. Something nice, right? I think this story is inspiring. You mightn't agree with me, but I took these two lads down to the beach with cerebral palsy, right? Not with the power of. It's not like they're magical. You assume they'd have some. The only real magical disabilities are dwarfs. Midgets aren't magical. They're just freakish little people. Don't worry about that joke. It goes over the midgets' heads. Doesn't go over the dwarfs' heads. People underestimate how big their foreheads are and just smacks them in the 14th wrinkle. Anyway, I took these two lads down to the beach with cerebral palsy, and we wheeled them down to the beach, and there's that beautiful moment when you're at the beach and you're just looking at the water and the sand where you're eating an ice cream. You go, how long do we stay here for? What's the appropriate amount of time? It's not like they're going to go swimming. And in Australia, you can sunbake topless, so there's a lot of topless women walking around, and you're not meant to look at topless women when they're on the beach. If one woman in this room was topless right now, there'd be no gig. The show would be over. The room would be freaking out, right? But at the beach, if a girl's topless, you're meant to just act like this is normal and not look or poke. So, anyway, this girl walks by with tremendous tits, right? Now, one of the lads who has no muscle memory whatsoever, right? He's all hawkinged up, right? And a pair of tits walked by, and I swear to God, he fucking locked on. Like a solid fucking... He did not fucking deviate as she went by. And I was thinking, is this some type of therapy that they've never offered these people? Anyway, so I start thinking right now, as an able-bodied person, I can't stare at tits because someone will punch me in the head. But I think, fuck it, I'm going to start staring at tits. Who's going to punch me in the head? I'm the nicest guy in the world. I'm with two spastics, right? So I start staring at tits. Then this big fat-ass woman with just bikini bottoms on, with her tits hanging out, walks by. And one of the lads turns to the other one, and over the course of 5 minutes, but I'll speed it up for you, goes, there's one for you, mate. Now, it's a lovely joke. It's a joke that we have all enjoyed. Everyone has done that joke with their friends, gone, that's your wife, that is, and we've all had a good laugh. It's not a great joke, but you know what I found heartwarming, what I found inspiring about that? You know what was inspiring? This guy can't wipe his own ass, yet he's too good for the fat chick.